Well, I've never laughed more than ever with Eric. And every time I see him, it's just, we just pick up, and I just can't help but find him funny. I always think he's like the funniest man alive. So I got, yeah. I enjoyed my time with Eric, and gosh, I don't even know how to begin to say where do we start with all the crap that we did together, and all the time I said fate to you. It's fate. I'm crying. I love Ethan. I love Ethan. I'm gonna marry Ethan. I could probably tear up. The teardrop. I used to get made fun of because, like, literally on camera, like one eye drop would drop like on the buzz session stuff. I don't know.
You would see
anyway.
a tear duct, like actually. I'm staring at it.
And of course, I remember my screen test with Travis, I was so nervous that day. I remember and I have a terrible memory, I don't know why, but I do. But that day I remember specifically with picking up the wardrobe to meeting you and to doing the scene, and then getting in the car and crying because I was so nervous. Yeah, I was very nervous that day. But we had a great time as well. I mean, you know, we started it together. Of course, Liza, always right there. We're all, you know, fighting away the whole time. Yes. Yeah, I loved Passion was amazing. I'm a child because of that. She is 13, and I'm grateful for that. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Second Gwen, now Lizzie, and married her.
So you know what's so funny? And I think about this all the time, because I left the show because I was engaged to a guy in New York. Then Natalie came in and played Gwen. I wound up not marrying a guy in New York, but you guys wound up getting together. It's just amazing how fate works. And then I came back, and all was well. I love it. Fate. Which disaster? The prom boat. I was thinking about the tsunami. We were in a big water tank for a long time. A long time with the water tank, the tsunami, and we were screaming. We were holding on to a boat, a canoe, a piece of wood, I don't know, but it was so fun. We did. Like Christy said, we were working such long hours, but it was the best time. And I mean, Eric, funniest man in the world. He used to make up the funniest songs and just tease the stage directors, and we just used to laugh.
I'm also a serious actor.
We had to laugh through it. I mean, dry block, for those of you who don't know, that's when you basically rehearse your scene before you tape it. Dry block was to get out the giggles, to get out the... We couldn't believe we were actually going to, air this. Put it on television and show it to people. So it literally is and probably will be one of my favorite jobs of all time. And I do have to say, just kudos to this one. Remember the night before, and I called you, because I talked to Lindsay and I told her about my fear about coming on and having to replace, and it was very, very hard for me. I remember being so nervous. And this girl stuck on the phone with me for about maybe 2.5 hours. We spoke. And not many people would do that. And I'm grateful to you for doing that, because you just put me at ease. So I walked in there the next morning, like, all right, I got this. There was a family after that.
Eric, what was the first character you played on Passion?
My first character was what Michael Burnett mentioned to. I was Julian Crane's demon. Remember when Teresa went to hell? And she opens hell's door, and there's Hitler sitting there, and Mussolini, and Silence of the Lambs dude. I looked like Gene Simmons as a demon, and I had like 9-inch heels on, and I talk like this. And that was my first love scene with Teresa. Threw you down on the ground hard, too. You were mad.
I was not happy.
So I was excited, my adrenaline was pumping. I'm like, Teresa! That's a true story. But you directed that episode, didn't you? That's right, yeah. That was great. Then it was a zombie cop. After that. Like, then 2 weeks later, I was Ethan. Thank you for keeping your mind open to character adjustments.
Just to kind of tag on to what everybody else over there was saying, coming onto the show so early was really interesting from my perspective, especially being one of the only children on the show. Just how welcoming and professional everybody was. You know, being a kid on a show full of adults is pretty intimidating. You're expected to show up and be professional, work like a professional, and be adult at 6 years old. So it was just really easy to do that with the cast that we had, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. You know, coming out to California, it was one of the first shows that I got onto. So to really have that kind of experience first, you know, stepping into this industry was incredible, and I'll never, you know, change that for anything. So I couldn't be more thankful for that. We all have crazy memories. I keep telling this guy he was on a loincloth at one point. It was insane.
I just realized something. As I'm sitting next to you, one of the scenes that you guys watched us fight a lot, one of my favorite scenes was when I had to dunk her in the fountain. Do you remember that? It was not really my favorite scene because she didn't like it, and I was afraid also of water. I thought I felt so bad doing it, but then you kind of forget and go, okay, this bitch hates me, I'm going to drown her now. And one other thing I want to say is we all talk about all these different scenes, but I always used to say I never wanted to be in scenes with James, Galen, and Eric at the same time. Because there was so much laughing and carrying on. And Rodney, you too, you don't stay far behind. But it was at the same time the most incredible experience.
Fido remembers those days.
Oh yes.
He's looking on the schedule, oh shit.
But the cast here is so great. They help you through all the crazy things you have to do. Like I remember one day I had to come in and I'm having sex with